Will and RJ. Miles J.
Yes! Yes, Gaga, you look so good. Oh my God, yes!
From New Jersey, now living in Los Angeles, Nick. From the Philippines, now living in Los Angeles as well, Ken. From Sydney, Australia, Jake Bley. From Erlangen, Germany, Stefan and Lukas.
What's your favorite Ghibli studio film?
I know that. Studio Ghibli.
Ghibli
It's like
Studios
Kiki's Delivery
is,
Oh, Hunty.
This was for a particular person on the
You guys have seen them too. They're really Studio Ghibli. That's Kiki's Delivery Service. That's Hayao yeah.
Well,
So my favorite Studio Ghibli movie by far is Kiki's Delivery Service. I love it.
I liked Spirited Away because it was the first one that I saw. It was like my introduction to that. So it was very eye-opening. Like, you know, you never forget your first, right?
Yeah, it was a cute movie.
Some of us want to forget.
Hi, I'm Felix. You can find me on sparklyposters.com.
Hello.
What's your top 3 for this season of RuPaul's Drag Race?
Has anybody been watching? Am I the only one watching at this table? You guys are so wrong. You guys are bad gays. Yes.
I've never seen an episode. I know, right? Get off.
Blocked. My top 3 so far would have to be Katya. She's really funny. Who else? Max. Pearl. Pearl's also good, but I don't know if she'll last. I'm hoping for her, but
What's the name of the really
the cute one. That's
Yeah.
Pearl.
Pearl? Okay.
Mhm. I also think Violet Chachki could win too if she gets rid of her attitude.
That's Felix's favorite.
That's you.
Matthew, I wanted to know, is there going to be the season 2 of Bad Gays Club?
Good question. See how y'all do?
We want to. The answer is we certainly want it to happen. It's just a matter of assembling. You know, because not everybody lives in the same place, so it's a matter of getting everybody together again, and I think also being a bit more organized about it this time.
Yeah, so...
I don't know if you guys, that was like literally half of us showed up on the day not knowing what we were about to do. So it was, everything that you saw there was pretty much improv on the spot. Literally everything.
Our entire thing, like we made up like a second before I turned the camera on. So like the cam 4 thing, we're like, let's just go with cam 4, let's just do it.
That was Davey's idea.
Yeah, but like also we wanted to do it and we had scheduled like a time to redo it, but then like schedules got in the way, and we're trying to decide if we wanted to do, like if it was going to be Bad Gays Club or if we were going to do a spoof of another show. So that's, I don't know, and not to mention like Davey and Kingsley are so busy all the time.
Busy.
Yeah.
And I think it's also we wanting to see if we could expand the cast and include some more people. I know we've gotten plenty of requests in the comments that we have to get Mark and Ethan or Trey Melvin or, yeah, I'm sure everybody's whispering names to themselves. So So the answer is yes, of course we want to make it happen. It's a matter of making it happen because it's not like we have producers or anything doing this for us. It's all just us. So we would love nothing more. Kickstart Jake's flight just so that he can be part of Bad Guys Club.
I'm Kata from Hungary.
Yes.
Hi. So my question is to Will and RJ.
Hi.
Yes, the cookies were amazing.
We actually needed information for next year, but this year. So if you say so that it was good, then we could send you some more.
And the mugs. We use the mugs too. They're really cool.
I just have to say, like, the decoration was so creative. You guys put so much effort, and we got 30 tins of cookies that you guys put together. That must have been. Oh, and we got the pictures too. You guys. Okay, let us explain for everyone else. These were girls that went to the Prague meetup last year, and I don't know. The whole point of doing stuff like this is to kind of build a community, and they took it above and beyond. They were people that were brought together by the channel, and they got together after the meetup and had a bake-off. And yeah, they took pictures, and they sent us pictures and cookie tins, and it's what it's all about.
And they're amazing. And our diets went to shit because of you guys. Got so fat and bloated afterwards. Thank you so much.
Okay, mission accomplished.
It's fun for us to meet you guys and for you guys to meet us, but this is also so that you guys can meet each other. And we got a lot of messages, at least I did, about oh, I don't have anyone to go with. Should I go by myself? And we're like, yes, because you. Even if you come here by yourself, you will not leave here by yourself. Because all you guys are great. You guys are fantastic.
So sorry, we completely got derailed. What was the question?
The question is about the wedding.
It's about what?
Oh, about your wedding. Because I listened to the vlogs and I heard that the venue is not available.
Yeah, so let's talk about that for a second.
Okay, thanks.
We want to do it in Tallahassee, where we met, and not to mention all of our family lives in Florida anyway, so we didn't want to make them travel to California. And not to mention, marriage equality was legalized in Florida on my birthday this year. So, yeah. That was so serendipitous. And so we're like, okay, obviously we have to go ahead and start making the plans, because we're engaged. We were shooting for October, and we already had the venue picked up because back in the day when we lived in Florida, we were cater waiters for weddings, and we found this venue, and it was perfect. The symbol for the venue is a Triforce, and I'm like, I have to have my wedding here. It's so beautiful. But I called them, and the venue was not only booked on the weekend that we wanted it, it was booked from August to December. So every single weekend was booked. So we're shooting for a year from now, almost a year to the day. So yeah, because next spring is wide open. And we have to shoot, we have very small time frames in Florida because the weather is good for 2 weeks in the fall and 2 weeks in the spring. So yeah, it'll probably be next April. If everything goes to plan.
Yes.
Yeah.
We don't want to announce.
Jinx it. Knock on wood. Okay.
Because the 2 times that we said a date out loud to people, it didn't work. So we don't want to jinx it.
Yeah. So we'll figure it out.
We'll give you a time frame, and then the minute we nail.
As soon as I reserve it, we're getting married next weekend. Ha! Surprise! We're getting married right now. We're getting married right now.
All right. Next question.
Can you all sing for us? Please? Please, please.
Build something down today, yeah. But who would have the other two when you can have Beyonce? But what about us? Who says I need you? But what about our paychecks? They comfort my day. What if we wanna quit? Better watch what you say, girls, or I'll kick your ass out in the rain.
Have you seen any hot guys in Germany?
Thirsty.
Let me tell you.
Yes.
And
The last question. Don't worry.
do you love us?
Do we love ass?
Do you?
I was like, yes, Santi, how did you know? Like, what?
Do you love
Us.
Love
Yes,
us?
I love you guys. Yes, of course, Santi. Love you.
I have a rather elaborate question. I saw your vlog of yesterday when you went to the concentration camp
Yeah.
in 2000, and thanks for sharing these raw emotions.
Yeah, definitely.
And I have a question how you're dealing with sharing things online when having people around, knowing these things and coming to you thinking you have thought them through and direct them, and you're like, where do you know them from? And you realize, oh, I've been talking about it. I mean, it's very random that we are here seeing most of your videos, knowing your information. How is it with close people who don't regularly watch, but sometimes watch, and they know personal stuff of you?
Well, I mean, like, the whole point of creating the videos was kind of like there were 2 points to it. I wanted to create like a diary for me and RJ to kind of look back on whenever we hopefully stayed together for a long time. But then, yeah, the sharing of personal information, and especially like with my problems with alcohol and my PTSD, and how, you know, where do you draw that line with sharing with thousands of strangers, and you're kind of giving them ammunition almost to like use against you, and it's used every day. But I don't know, I try to every day remain positive and understand that like there's a point to it. And my mom every day, she's always like, you shouldn't share so much. Like people are like she sees it all the time. Like, oh, there's so many people that are coming at you about this that you said in this video. Maybe you should not share that as much. But I don't know. I think the whole point of the videos was to try to be as genuine as possible, and I tried to share the parts of my life that I think people can learn from. And obviously there are things that I just rather not talk about, like sex has nothing to do with you guys. So, and then like obviously a lot of people...
You're not gonna vlog that?
No, people...
What about your other channel?
They don't know about that. Yeah, and then obviously like money situations. People always ask like what kind of money we make from YouTube and stuff like that. But I don't know. I think that it's kind of a double-edged sword. You're giving all these people all of this personal information about yourself that they use against you. But there's so many more people that learn from the sharing of like there's so many people, like mental health in general. There's so many people. I've received thousands of messages of people that have been inspired to go to therapy now because I am forthcoming about my problems and me going to a therapist. And how could that get any better? You know, the fact that you have problems and you have struggles and people identify with that and they're making themselves better because you're making yourself better. Yeah, RJ wants to talk.
No, hey, I think we've been presented with a unique opportunity in the sense that a lot of the stuff that we experience is, you know, we're not alone, we're not unique in our struggles. But, you know, not only do we experience a lot of the same struggles, but we are in a unique position where sharing that with people it means something. It allows them to extract meaning from it all. You know, we're not just going through it to go through it. We're also doing it because we, you know, are doing it kind of for and with you guys. So that, if anything, it makes it easier because, you know, sometimes the going does get tough, and it's really helpful to know that we have now 200,000 people rooting for us. So that makes things a lot easier to deal with when the going gets tough, actually. Like, you guys have been really awesome.
I think as well, something that everyone needs to know as well, that when we started out YouTube channels and whatnot, a lot of us just did it because... a lot of us started it because like it was a way for us to get over our own fears or our own problems, or just to talk about it to a community. And we're lucky enough that now that the community has grown so big, And I think, yeah, like you guys just need to know that a lot of this, we don't do it just for the sake of doing it. We do it because it helps us just as much as it helps you guys. Like we get to have conversations with you. We get to share our thoughts, our feelings, and in a way, it's our own form of therapy. I mean, I know at least for myself. So, like it's helped, well, all of us so much. So thank you for that as well. Like you guys need to know that.
I want to ask Lukas and Stephan, after all the experience in LA, how do you like it?
Answer correctly.
And I have to say, in general, it was awesome in LA. We are very thankful for Will and RJ. They really showed us every day, every single thing that is important to see in LA and also in San Francisco. So, thank you very much. I've only been to the East Coast so far, and never been to the West Coast. And the people are completely different there. Every single person I met, like Nick and Ken, for example, they were all very open-minded and absolutely friendly. And I love meeting new people, and YouTube is a great chance to do that, for example. And LA was another great chance to do that. I'm very thankful that I could go there. And the city itself was...
Oh, shit. Well, yeah.
I mean, everybody in Germany says, I want to go to Hollywood and see it. It was amazing, but also dirty. And, for example, I like San Francisco much better than LA. It's amazing to see, especially like the Runyon Canyon. You have a hill in the center of a city, and you can go there and run there. This is awesome. But I liked San Francisco more, but I guess you liked LA more than I.
Yeah, definitely. LA is, I don't know, it's just so many people, so many nice people. Everyone is, yeah, the people. I don't know. San Fran is like big city, everyone is busy, and LA is like, yeah, we're going with the life we have, and just, yeah, and that's good.
Super chill.
Super chill, yeah.
West Coast to West Coast.
How do we like the people?
Yeah.
We love every single one of
They
them.
were awesome, very kind and gentle and friendly, and they wanted to show us their country, and they're very proud of it. And for example, for Yosemite, you can be proud of that national park. It's amazing.
Yeah, I think that one thing that I was pretty surprised that you guys saying,
was something that like you guys experienced about our country that kind of opened my eyes to it was the fact that we have so many different like types of people in our country. Because you guys got to LA and you had an idea of the typical American, and then you met people and you're like, whoa, okay, there are so many different types of people in America. Like, what is the typical American? Yeah, it's like it's so diverse. So yeah, I thought that was like it opened my own eyes. Like, whoa, okay, they're actually right. There are so many people.
Yeah. Well, it also helps that like our country is as big as your continent, so there's just a lot of room to fit a lot of different kinds of people. But
my name is Fabian. I'm here from Berlin. I just want to start off by saying that you're all more beautiful in person. But no
flattery will get you everywhere.
But no offense to the others, Miles is the most flawless. So I just want to ask Will and RJ, how do you feel about hitting 200K? And to everybody else, what is your favorite thing about Germany? And to the German guys, what is your favorite thing except for the people? About the States?
How does it feel to hit 200K? It's amazing in the sense that whenever you start uploading on YouTube, there's this feeling of just like, this is stupid, no one's gonna wanna watch this, this is so, like, why am I doing this? I'm insane for thinking that people would watch this. So hitting those landmarks is a nice reassure, and it helps reassure you that no, there are people that you're doing the right thing. Yeah, that you're doing something right. You may not necessarily know what it is, but you're doing something right, and that's comforting to know.
You have to get pretty comfortable to film in public.
Yeah, that.
Everyone's like giving you side eyes and walking down the street.
Especially in Germany,
in Germany.
Holy cow! Like
all
people.
the bitches in my last video, everyone's like, I'm walking to the airport, like.
And like everyone stops and looks. They're like, what is this stupid ass American doing?
And then when Miles does, they do it.
Oh my
like,
God,
even
Miles
more.
doesn't have to do anything. Everyone is staring.
They just don't know what to. They just don't.
Yeah.
They don't know what to do. They don't know what to do.
Yeah, but about 200K, I don't know. Like I try really hard not to focus on numbers because that's why we do this in the first place. I love putting faces to numbers because I don't know. Whenever I started out, I would put the videos up and like I would get 10 views, and I'm like, oh, I'm so famous. But now I put it out there, and all of these numbers come from so many places, and I feel almost bad because I don't know them. So I feel it's obviously awesome to have like such a large audience that you touch, and people send you messages all the time of how much of an effect that you had on their lives. But I mean, it's really important that you guys know how much of a positive effect you guys have on us. So I think it makes me want to meet you guys even more. So I want to travel. If I could, I would have dinner with every single one of you. But I would probably be doing that for the rest of my life. So yeah. But it's so humbling. It's so incredibly humbling, and I don't know. It gives me like the motivation to keep going. Yes. So so many times I'm like, fuck this. I don't want to do a video today. But I don't know. Like it's just that extra little spark that says, hey, no, you have people that want this. Keep doing it.
Oh, what's your favorite part of Germany?
Yeah.
No. Okay.
How do
Okay.
you feel about that thing to understand?
Well, yeah, because there was other questions. Yeah. Favorite part of Germany so far, I love the efficiency. Like you guys do not play around. You got a job. Let's do it and let's do it right. And everything is just like eins, zwei. And like you guys, there's order, there's structure. It makes it very comforting for me. And I like that everything is clean. Like they're coming from like Stephan and Lukas, they nailed it. Like Hollywood is dirty. It is so dirty. Yeah. Well, this is like luxury in Hollywood. So no, like I really do like you guys. I don't know. I'm really impressed by the efficiency. And maybe I'm the kind of person that like goes to stores and buys notebooks because it's like a thing.
He loves seeing the lines on the paper.
I love seeing whatever. So I don't know. That's probably my favorite part.
No, I think the history just is absolutely fascinating, especially in an area like Berlin. I've been walking around everywhere and have just been like, so much has happened here. So much has gone down, and it's going back, not just in this past century, but like centuries even prior to that. It's just you guys' countries are so old compared to the U.S. This building is probably older than United. Or, I don't know. The fact that there's buildings in your country that.
Speak for yourself. My building was built. My country was built like a hot minute ago. I'm not kidding.
Yeah, no, seriously. The fact that you see something from like the 1950s in America, and everyone's like, "Oh, it's so old," whereas you guys are like, "That's cute." So yeah, the history to me, and it's also when we learn European history in our schools, it's like you might as well be reading Game of Thrones because it's just like this magical faraway land that's across this where all the history comes from, and then to actually see it and to like have stuff be tangible that you can touch and all that is just really cool.
What was the question?
What's favorite part of Germany?
Favorite part of Germany? Okay, just that one. Okay. For me, I was surprised a lot by the food. I didn't know what to expect when I came here, like what the food was gonna taste like, and like I'm also a very picky eater, unfortunately, with what I'm so basic when it comes to my food. I just, I stayed in my basic ketchup, macaroni and cheese, pizza, Burger King, like burgers. But I came here and I like experimented a little with the currywurst and the, what was it? It's like spreadable meat. What's it called? Liverwurst. That was new too. I was like, oh my God, this is amazing. I got it smoked and everything. We had like the, what's it called? Buffet breakfast. Yeah. I was alive. I was living. Yes, I was like picking up all the eggs, the bacon, and everything. I was like, let me have it all. Just put it all on. Oh, yes. It's so good. So delicious. So, yeah, you guys have really amazing food. So.
I just want to take all of the bread in Germany home with me, because I don't know if you understand, like, they're the best bread I've ever had, and I'm gonna like gain like 100 pounds just eating bread alone here because it's so good. And I know I'm gonna cry, guys. This is really good. Okay. Yeah. But yeah, the food is so good. Like seeing the architecture is so pretty. Like I don't know, everyone's really friendly and pretty, and I just love it.
Your favorite thing is everything.
Yeah, everything. Well, they stole all my fucking answers, that's for sure. But no, I find, especially Berlin, is very laid back, which is amazing. It's very like chill. I see dogs everywhere, off leash and on leash, and I'm like, yes, it makes sense. Yeah, in restaurants. I mean, I wish I could bring my dog to a restaurant. America would be like, get the fuck out. What are you doing here? But I love the fact that you guys eat offal cuts. You guys eat lungs, heart, all the things that in America I'd be the only one eating it. So when I went to a restaurant, I'm like, oh my God, they serve heart and lungs. I'm like, yes, more of that, please. Yeah. So, yeah. And when you have a restaurant that is older, like 3 times older than America, you're probably doing something right.
Yeah. Well, actually, my family is originally from Germany. My Oma and Opa came over. So for me, I'm taken straight back to my childhood, eating all this food. Like Liverwest, I used to go to school and eat it on a sandwich, and I'm like, yeah, this is great. And then all the other kids were like, girl, you know what that is? but yeah, so, and I mean, I was here about a year ago, and it's so nice to be back, except the weather is so much better this time, because I was not having it last time. But the people are beautiful. I mean, look at you. Please, have you like seen yourselves? This is where this genetics come from, baby. I'm fucking kidding.
So it's okay. It's okay. Yeah. So you said I can't tell you that the best part are the people. So I'm just gonna say, as diverse as the people are, as diverse as the food, and it's just we went to every fucking single one. Different restaurant that you can imagine. It was, it's just, I can't even, it's so good.
Are you talking about food here?
Like, no.
Oh, really? Oh, I see what
and Germany is awesome, by the way. Like, what do you expect?
I don't know.
What's my favorite part of Germany?
It's difficult to say what I like the most because there were so many different things. But what I liked the most was probably Yosemite, but because it really surprised me that you have big cities, but you also have a very beautiful nature. And what I also loved was Six Flags, but yeah. Six Flags. It was. Oh, I loved it. Yeah, but I guess Yosemite was the most surprising thing, and the food was diverse. I mean, you have very good Asian food there.
I just want to say that through the years, Will and RJ, you have helped so many people all around the world with your hard work, your patience, your vulnerability, your courage, everything that is everything. I just wanted to know, what are your goals for your channels, for the Not Adam and for the Chef 689 in the next couple of years, or however you choose long to do what you do the best?
Yeah, oh, thank you. I don't know. With Chef 6, okay, well.
No, I was just saying, I have, sorry. I think, we talked a little bit about this at some of the previous meetups too, about 2014 was a really weird year for our channel in the sense that all of a sudden, YouTube became our job. And so we were kind of struggling a little bit because it's like, how can we stay relatable and accessible when not everybody is a professional YouTuber? And so I think 2015 and I think some of the following years are going to be about what else we do. because no matter what happens, I think we'll be taking you guys along for the ride, obviously. So instead of just kind of sitting at home and making our videos, I think it's going to be about what other stuff can we try and what other things can we experiment with.
I think the hardest part about 2014 was like I was going through my quarter life crisis, and I had all of these questions that you guys were like watching me live through. I didn't know like what I wanted to do because I had all of these thoughts from my parents telling me that I needed to get a traditional job. I needed to just like find a desk job, quit YouTube, and go about my business quietly. But there was something inside of me that I know I didn't want to, because I wanted to keep going with the videos. And not to mention I had like my alcohol problem started rearing its head, and then I realized that I was so far away from my support system back home in Florida. And just 2014 really like was a reality check for me specifically. And it kind of sucked because I knew that a lot of people saw that in the videos. They saw that I wasn't in the best mood, and I felt like I wasn't being genuine. I didn't want to make every video with me being in a crappy mood. But then 2015 came around, and I owned up to the fact that I had my issues. I went to see a therapist and was diagnosed with severe PTSD, and I started seeking help with all of the things that were going wrong instead of me just wallowing in my own sympathy. And the response, I had no idea how you guys would respond, because it was such a chance for me to be so incredibly vulnerable with so many people, and that is something that I don't do. And the response was absolutely amazing, and people started being inspired with me seeking help with my issues. And I don't know, I've had since a renewed vision for the channel. People were bettering themselves because they saw me bettering myself. And like that was absolutely mind-blowing to me, and it still is mind-blowing. I want to keep that up. I want people to be inspired by me to be the best person that they can be, and I want to show that through example. And like the fact that there were people that said, I'm going to therapy now, and I'm finally like combating my issues that I've had, and people have always told me, I mean, we all have the stereotype that if you go to a therapist, something's really wrong with you, like, oh, you're really sick, oh, you should just like suck it up and move on. Like, fuck that. No, like I was telling myself that, own your happiness, yeah, plug. Anyway, but that has given me a massive change in what I want to do with the channel. I want to keep inspiring people to be the best people that they can be. Yeah.
Do any of you guys have goals for your channels? What goals do you guys have? Mm-hmm.
I don't have anything like, I don't know. Mine's currently fluctuating. I'm in a point. I'm having my like quarter life crisis. I guess I can see it approaching. But I've always wanted to do so many things. I've always wanted to like produce music and sing and dance and act and do all this direct and produce and like do everything. So I want to have my hand in like just yes. So I guess my main goal would just be to be somewhat of a, I don't know, entrepreneur of some sort, like, or maybe I am, true. But like, you're right. But I don't know, like, I'm still trying to figure it out. So I'm taking it one step at a time. But the main goal, I don't know. Whenever I feel like a goal that I want to have, I think of Tyler Oakley and what he's doing now and the people he's talking to now. Although I don't think I would host something. I would like to be a guest on something. I'm better at guesting.
I think like with you though, it's not only like to give you credit. You have all of these aspirations of what you want to do and go about your life, but like you just being you and like doing your thing, you are inspiring so many people. I mean, because I could just exist and play with a dog, and anyone can play with a dog, but not anyone can get dolled up and walk down the street and like hold their head high with all the shit that you have to go through.
In the middle of Berlin with people staring and just having no
yeah. So,
I mean, no, It's true. I mean, the first time we met, I don't know if you remember, we were in the car waiting for your bus, and I said, "You're probably one of the bravest person that I know, like hands down."
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
So you've already accomplished so much. Yeah.
Thank you.
So mushy.
Yeah, that was it.
And I'm wearing a cute fox sweater. No, but goals, I don't know, I just really like being able to express like my creativity through videos and play different characters. I feel like me and Miles have a lot in common like when it comes to our content, because we both want to make music videos, we both want to make like comedy, and then we also vlog and stuff. So it's like, instead of just picking one thing, we just like a lot of things. So it's hard to focus and think of a goal for like one specific point. But I mean, at this point, I just like doing it, and I just want to keep doing it.
That was really inspiring.
I know. Yeah, very.
That's why I started with I'm wearing a fox sweater.
There's a puppy outside.
Right.
Goals. For me, I mean, I have a cooking show on YouTube, and really, it's just what I wanted for my channel is I wish I could like travel more and experience more cultures, and soak up all the cultures, I guess. Because I firmly believe that to know an identity of a place, you find it through a plate, and it's what you eat, how you eat. It's all in it's all in the food, and I want to broaden the palette of not just me, not just my palette, but anyone else's who watch my channel. But yeah. Avocado shake is amazing. You should try it. But yeah, Miss Universe answer number 1.
Yeah. I think my aspirations are a little bit different because I just do my YouTube stuff mainly, actually it's not different. I think we all do it for very similar reasons, but I don't have any aspirations to go into acting or producing or whatnot. This is, it's the same as these guys, it's a creative outlet for me, but I think I've had many moments where I'm just like, you know what, I'm just gonna stop. But what stops me from stopping is like doing shit like this, seeing you guys. I've been able to, I did a trip around Europe and I met so many people, and just getting to share my life is, as I said before, like it helps me do what I do in my day-to-day life. Like I try to keep my personal life like relatively separate, but at the same time, like you guys help me so much, and I think that's why I just keep on doing it. I just like seeing my room and talking to a camera. Like it's a bit of a losery thing to do if you think about it. But but at the same time, like I love doing it. It's so much fun to work on something and see it come to light, and then get some feedback from you guys saying how much you're enjoying or how much, all that sort of stuff. Do you guys like feel the same way?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I think that's it. Like, yeah, I don't know. That's kind of how I feel about it. I do it because I love like what I get back from you guys, if that makes sense. That's what I get back. Yeah. Does it make sense? No.
So yeah, our channel is still so young, and we just hit 10K today, and and I don't know, we don't have a plan. For me at least, it's just a way to I'm still figuring out what I want to do. I'm studying right now. I'm going to Colombia to study there, and what's going to happen, I don't know. It's just a way for me to...
Hold on, like Colombia, as in like the country?
The country in this stuff.
I was like, there's a great university in New York, baby.
Yeah. Oh, I wish, but yeah, that's just... YouTube is a way to, for me to figure out, maybe.
I guess it's, what I wanted to say is our intention with our channel, because I guess you all know so many couples from America, from English-speaking countries, but in Germany, YouTube is coming along. It's not such a big thing like it is in America. For you, vlogging is, people don't stare at you when you vlog on the streets in LA. It's pretty common there. But when we vlog, especially in these rural areas, not like in Berlin, when we live in Erlangen and we only have like 100,000 inhabitants, and they stare at you like you're an alien or something. What is he doing here? It's awkward.
And we talk English, so it's even more weird.
Yeah. But we want to express that, or we want to show that a gay German life is nothing different to a gay life in another country. We also have a great gay community here. And I know that people are staring at Miles in Berlin, but Berlin is like one of the most open-minded cities in LA. So in rural areas, in smaller towns, that would be much more staring. And I really have to say that you're one of the bravest persons I've ever seen, because you're like, your head is always up and you're always like a queen.
Serving every day.
And so yeah, I guess this is our main intention. Like a gay German life is nothing special. And especially the everyday life for a gay person in Germany is just a normal life, like a heterosexual life, for example. And it's very awesome that things are changing in Germany right now. I don't think that gay marriage, it's not allowed at the moment, but things will change in the future in Germany because it's important that it changes. And people are very supportive. And yeah, I'm proud to be gay in German, and it's totally okay to be a gay in German. So we don't have to leave the country. And for us, especially this year is going to be very special because, yeah, like he said, he's going to Colombia for a semester abroad. I'm finishing my bachelor's thesis in the summer, so I'm also applying for master's studies, and not only in Germany, also in London, for example. And I don't know how we're going to do that with our YouTube channel, but so I guess it's a very interesting year to come along for us. So yeah, and also thank you for your support so long.
I'm Sophie. First of all, I want to say a big thank you to Will and RJ for your daily vlog. I've been watching.
Thanks.
You're welcome.
I've been watching you two since the time when Will was posting videos for TPG.
Wow.
And you guys helped me go through some rough time in life. And I have a question to Will. How is your writing process going?
Yeah.
And can you tell us approximately when you will finish your book? And also, are you planning on writing a novel in the future?
Yeah, definitely. I spoke to my manager about like the whole process because I don't really know anything about writing a book. I studied math and stuff when I was in school, so I had him to help with it. And whenever you start out with a book, you have to start out with a treatment. So I've been working on the treatment a lot, and it's pretty hard because you have to sell yourself whenever you're writing a treatment to get a publishing company to even consider it. And the treatment is done. And I've been writing it, like, I write it all the time, but I'm such a perfectionist when it comes to writing. But then Stephan and Lukas came, and then we started to do the Europe tour, so I've had to put it on hold. But I am going to take a couple of weeks, probably at the end of May, to fly home and to put myself back into the situation I was in that I'm writing about. For those of you who don't know, I'm writing a book to basically... Yeah, I guess like a memoir. I don't really know what it is. I'm basically talking about the experience it was for me to grow up different in a community that stresses that everyone needs to be the same. And the stakes of like owning up to your uniqueness and what happened to me. Everything between my relationship with my father, which I've had to grapple with all the time. My dad now is on Twitter because he's trying to get me to literally stop writing this book. So I have that I'm dealing with. There was a sexual assault when I was a little kid that I have to like relive. So it's been really, really hard to go back to all of that stuff that I've suppressed and I've put away to relive it and to rehash it. But you guys are like the inspiration. I think it's really, really important that everyone has their own struggles. And some people have like really, really deep, dark troubles that they're going through. But I think it's really terrible for us to compare them. I don't like saying, okay, Susie, who has an issue, compared to Bobby, oh, Susie's issues are more important than Bobby's issues. No, Bobby's issues are just as important as Susie's issues. for example. And I want to kind of lend a perspective of what it was like for me growing up and how I dealt with it to possibly help someone in the future. Because when I was 16, I went to the guidance counselor because I was in a really, really bad spot. And she told me something that I will never, ever forget. And she said, you are the only one responsible for your own happiness. And it was something that just blew, okay. It was something that just blew my, sorry, I love you. It was something that just absolutely blew my mind because it was something that I had never even thought of. Because I don't know, my parents, your parents are not responsible for your happiness. Your friends are not responsible for your happiness. They were not put on this earth to make you happy. You were put on this earth to make you happy. And that was mind-blowing to me. And I want to write a book expressing that idea. So that is like the motivation of it. But it's going to take a while. I plan on getting a large part of it taken care of in May. But I really don't know because I've never written something like that before. But I also want to continue after it. It's so weird. This is something that like I've gone through recently because I went through school studying math and I got my master's degree in biostatistics. And here I am wanting to be a writer. And I make YouTube videos in LA. And it's like, my mom's like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, she's like, this is awesome. I'm really, really excited for you, but I'm so scared at the same time because you're doing things that like me and your father would never, ever anticipate from you. But that's what living is all about, you know? You can't live your life for other people. You live your life for yourself. And that's what I want to do. So, yes. So that's like part of the channel too. I want to show people that like you can do what you want to do, and maybe you'll fail, but maybe you'll succeed. And I come from a place in Florida where everyone was just expected to quietly get your college degree, quietly get a job, and quietly go about your life because everyone else thought that that's what everyone else valued. And what other people value doesn't mean anything to you. Like, what you value means something to you. And what I value is my happiness. So, and that's what I want to express with the book. Yay!
Thanks for coming back, first of all.
Our pleasure.
Because you brought us together. And we had yesterday a little pre-meet-up, and we had so much fun. It was like family, friends, I don't know, but we had such a great time yesterday.
Us?
Yes, the waiters asked us if we are a class or something. They didn't know what we are, and we tried to explain what we are, and they were very surprised that such a big group were coming together, and everyone was talking to everyone, and had such a blast. It was fantastic.
Like that happened in literally like every meetup. There was a group of people that became best friends because of the meetup, and I'm like, do you see what's happening? Like these are people that are brought together by a community that was created from a YouTube channel. And I'm sure all of you guys have similar things happening with your YouTube channels. And like, how important is that? Like, people are coming together for something that, I mean, there are so many people that watch our videos silently in their bedroom, and like,
I mean, that's great.
It's I mean, which is completely fine, but like how, yeah, exactly. But how odd, like, and you guys take it above and beyond the fact that you guys got together and baked cookies. Holy shit! Like, and you, yeah,
yeah. One thing you guys need to one thing you guys need to know is like YouTube brought us together. Like, we're like best friends. You know that, right? And it's all because of YouTube. So yeah, slay.
Yeah. Did you want to keep going?
Yeah,
Jennifer.
I want to ask if you learned something after the last Europe tour.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
What your experience were?
Yeah, about like the people or like the topical
In general.
stuff?
I learned that European cold meds are weak as hell and nothing compared to American cold meds. So, I mean, American cold meds are what they use to make meth. So, yeah, they're hardcore. And so I learned that this year I needed to bring some American cold meds for my eventual, when I start getting stuffy and sinusy. I'm already sick, yeah. But what else did we learn?
Well, like, I don't know, like, that was the first time that we had done anything similar to a tour, and it's funny. I mean, so many Americans are mad, like, why the fuck are you going to Europe when you have so many people in the Americas? But sorry, yeah, exactly. Come to Brazil, but yeah, God. But I think it was the fact that whenever Sabina approached me. First of all, let's give her a round of applause for Sabina. Round of a hand.
She's not here.
She's not here. Well, yeah, Sabina is amazing because like all of this wouldn't be without Sabina, and we're tossing this idea back and forth of possibly going around Europe, and I had this notion of like maybe if we meet people and we show them that we care about them, that maybe they can show that they care about each other and that they care about us, because there's so much negativity in the world already. Like we could always use with more positivity, and the fact that like it happened and people became friends, and it was in every city that people were like they were connecting on a level that I had never even expected, and that's so important to me. Yeah.
I would also, I'd say my real answer too was just like, not only, this time around, but last time around, just seeing all these different places with all these different vibes and all these different populations. But then when it came to like doing the meetups and getting together with all of you guys, how it felt, this feeling was the same. And there was that same kind of sense of camaraderie and community, and the fact that kind of permeated all the different cultures that we visited was mind-blowing and awesome.
And to think that like that was just our channel, and Sabina came and she said, well, what do you want to do it again? I'm like, fuck yeah. But like I don't want it to be just my community. I want it to be like my best friend's community too. So this is something, like we're onto something here. And I know that there are so many of you guys who probably watch them and don't watch us, and that's okay. Like meet other people that watch Miles' channel, Miles and just Miles in general. Like your channel is so like you are so inspiring, and there's so many people that I know that look up to you, and they need to meet. And I'm making a generalization here, but I imagine that the person that watches your channel and connects with you on that level doesn't have the support system that someone who watches our channel may have. So I think it was so important that you came, because there are so many people that, especially that I felt in your community, that needed to meet each other. And you guys had to come, and I wanted to make it even more magical.
And the rest of you guys are all right, I guess.
Yeah. First of all, I want to go and say nice things about Miles, because I think you're the only person in the world who makes me watch a skirt review, very sincere review. And sometimes I think, why am I watching this? But it's so funny. It's incredibly funny. And now to the questions. The first question would be for Will. You were writing your book. There was already a question about it. And I want you to comment about this thing of YouTubers publishing books. You already commented on this. And you told us about what you meant by writing this book, and that how important it is, how deep it is,
right.
and how sincere it is, how authentic. Mm-hmm. And I don't see any of this on the books that are being published.
Let's talk about this.
Yeah, they're being published right now.
Definitely.
And that's actually I think it's a big problem, and actually is a problem for you, because it's a problem about publishing about the market, about what people expect YouTubers to publish, to write. So that's the first question. Okay. The second question would be for, actually, it's also serious, boring question. Because RJ, you work for Flamma, yeah? And you were complaining about homophobic comments on Flamma. And well, it makes me think about this, what is the situation in the US about this ethnic context and related to homosexuality? And I would extend this question actually for African American context, for Miles, maybe for Nick also, for the Italian background that you have. I don't know if it makes any sense right now. And
whatever you want.
Also for Ken, if it is possible. Sorry, Jake, it's very boring, but I'm sorry. So that'll be the two questions.
Cool. So the first one, I think we are all seeing how YouTubers are kind of. I think in order for you to stay relevant on YouTube, you have to kind of take it to the next level and branch off from YouTube. And you see a lot of YouTubers doing that. Tyler working so hard on his podcast and talking to Michelle Obama and everything that he's doing. He's just changing the world, and he's like such an inspiration. But I think that, I don't know, another realm of media is obviously books. And I had decided to write this book like last year, and then everyone started writing books. And I'm like, oh, okay, well, And I guess I am fortunate enough to have relationships with some of these YouTubers that are writing books, and was asking them for what are they using as inspiration, so maybe that I could inspire me, and I found no inspiration because, okay, I'm going to be as diplomatic about it as possible. In my opinion, they were writing it for the wrong reasons. They wanted to make a quick buck, and I'm writing my book for the people that are here. I'm not writing my book for money. I'm writing my book to touch lives, and I know that. Not to mention, first of all, I love books. I literally have my head in a book whenever I can, and what a better way to connect with the people that are like that and that are like me than to write a book about my own experience. But I think that I don't know, I probably won't be reading their books. They may be good books, who knows? But I think that I am different because I'm writing it for what I think is a different reason. Yeah.
I think when his comes out, I think the proof will be in the pudding as far as people will be able to tell a difference between, why, I feel like of course there's going to be, the people that buy Alfie's book or whatever just because they're diehard fans, but I feel like a neutral third party, if they were to go and read one of their books and then read Will's when it comes out, I feel like they're going to recognize that one is quality and the other.
Wow.
I'm just gonna. I don't have to be. No.
I think it's like be more in the content is going to be different.
Yeah, the content's just definitely going to be different.
The difference would be you actually wrote the book.
Anyways, moving on. Okay, homophobic cultures. That's what we're talking about next, right? So, when it comes to Flama, I don't think that the homophobic comments that I see on that channel have to do with the fact that there's homophobia in the Hispanic community, rather. Because Flama's also, as much as I was raised in Latin culture and there's so much machismo that's kind of ingrained into that, there's also this notion of who gives a shit sort of or that with my family, when I came out to my family, it was pero he's family, blood is blood is thicker. So I think there are other sort of cultural factors that can kind of mitigate that. As far as Flama goes, I feel like that's more has to do with just the fact that it's more of that kind of dude bro culture that it can exist online, because that's part of what channels that are on Flama, like Yo Muscle Boy and Jeremy Munoz, they kind of appeal to that audience. So I think that has something to do with it, and I think the other part of that equation is just that these people would probably never say what they say online if they had to say it face to face to us. The fact that they're they're just typing it into some to their keyboards and hitting post. It's vastly different than if they have to look someone in the eye and say that. So I try not to think about it all that much.
It's true that we all just get just as much hate. I mean, not just as much. We get hate as well as we get people yes, love it. But okay, let's do this.
We get horrible things written to us all the time. It's a common occurrence, and we're lucky that we have a community that defends us. But we also get emails, we get anonymous Tumblr, horrible things written to us all the time. But I think we can all agree that you can't have the warmth and love. We can't appreciate it without having the other side of the equation. And it just makes it all that more special, for us when we do get the love. And the people who don't have nice things to say are just unhappy with themselves, 100%. Agreed? Yeah. So, yeah, you're awesome.
What was the question?
Homophobia and dealing with that as someone that's a part of a culture,
It's weird because there is still that homophobia, the internalized homophobia, or not really homophobia, like racism, I guess, in the gay community.
Yeah.
Like in dating websites, you would always see no fats, no femmes, no Asians, no blacks. So, and it's always a thing. And
It's just a preference.
yeah, and then they're gonna be like, it's a preference.
I'm not racist, but
And I'm not racist, but it's a preference. Yeah, but it's weird, I guess. I mean, how I deal with it, I don't know. I mean, I just hate.
Shake it up.
Yeah, basically,
Shake
like
it
just
up.
shake it off. I mean, I do get mad sometimes, but the important thing is like I guess we try to raise awareness and stuff like that. You always, if you follow my Tumblr, I always get into preachy about certain things like that. But it's just a matter of educating people. I guess that's how I deal with it. But yeah.
For me, it's a little bit different because the way I present myself fluctuates often. So the hate that I get is a little bit different, where I post a picture and then people are like, "Oh, you're cute," and then they look at the rest and they're like, "Oh, wait, you're a guy."
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, and I'm like, "Okay, work. Thanks for the comment." But yeah, so it's really tough trying to accept yourself and trying to learn that you don't need to change for anybody, because especially when you listen to people and you listen to what they say and you start to believe that, and that can really start to get you down. So I would start to change myself. I would stop wearing like wigs and clothes and stuff, and I was like, I can do this, and I'm like, no, I can't. Like, I love wearing makeup. I love, being cute, and I love the feminine aesthetic. So, what's going on? What's happening? Okay. But yeah, it's really hard. But once you learn to love yourself for who you are and learn to accept yourself with all of, your fabulous glory, it gets a lot easier. And I think a really important part of this is the community that you are in. For me, I feel like it was extremely easy to just put on a skirt and walk out, because my parents weren't really that against it. My mom used to say some snide marks like, "I can see your testicles." Like, I'm like, whoa, Mom. Like, that's something you never want to hear your mother say. I'm like, so, yeah, like, ever. Like, I was like, goodbye, I'm going to school. So, yeah, there's that, and it's just learning to I don't want to hear that. Just like, goodbye. So, yeah.
I think you're saying about not apologizing for who you are, which is really true. I remember the conversation we had yesterday in the train, and I asked Miles, do you think beauty is objective or subjective? And we were like, kind of subjective, I guess. And I said, well, I kind of disagree with that, because just because you don't think the sun is beautiful or the sunset is beautiful, it doesn't make it any less beautiful than it is. And I said, and that applies to people too. Just because someone doesn't find you beautiful doesn't mean you're not. You're perfect. So.
And just to kind of also build off of some of the side comments that I was hearing, especially when I was in the bathroom listening to the when people are negative, it is a reflection on them. And I had a pretty eye-opening moment. One of our rules on our channel, one of our old rules on the vlog channel, was we left every comment, regardless of what they said. But there was a particular flood. After we did the fundraiser for Dobby, there was a bunch of people who was saying some really, really awful, horrible things in the comment section, and it was dragging everybody down. So I had a really eye-opening moment when I was starting to kind of go through the comments to remove all the really problematic ones, and I saw that at first it seemed like there were just hundreds and hundreds and hundreds, and then I found out that it was really only coming from 5 or 6 people who were just going through and leaving, hateful comment after hateful comment. So, and that's when I had this epiphany as far as just it's really more of a reflection on them than it is a reflection on you. So, and I think that's
applies to any kind of closed-minded or bigoted thinking. It's not a matter. It's not a reflection of the culture. It's not a reflection of the victim or anything like that. It's just a reflection of how selfish that one individual person is.
Since you probably had a lot of time on your flights and everything to listen to music, what's your current favorite jam, everyone?
Favorite jam? Hold on. Oh, wow. Oh, okay, easy, okay.
Have y'all heard Hillary Duff's new song? Yes!
Right, I don't know, I'm lame when it comes to this. If I was at the club and I heard a song come on, if I heard Bang Bang come on, I would like move everyone off the dance floor. And I'm like, listen, fucking get out. This is my song. So probably that, and I still have like a soft place in my heart for Let's Have a Kiki. Yeah.
I don't know.
Okay, next.
For me, it would have to be Beyonce's Crazy in Love. It's not a new song, but it's one that whenever it comes on, I always cut off people's conversations and I dance to it. So I'm dead ass serious about that song. Don't talk to me when that song is on. Don't look at me when that song is on. Actually, you can look at me, but yeah, and I'm just like, no, I'm kidding. Just watch. Listen, hunty. No, but yeah, that's my song.
I don't know if anyone here likes To Anyone or CL. Yes, but I mean, her song's not even out yet, but that's my favorite song right now. Like, I just am anticipating loving it. But if I had to pick one that's actually in reality, I would say there's this Romanian song by a singer named Ruby, and it's called No Pune La Suflet, and it's so good, and none of you probably know it. Look it up.
Look it up. Oh. Well,
I'm from Australia. That's
yeah.
That is. I hate when they do that.
Okay, favorite jam? I don't really have one right now. Anything by Beyonce really is a jam. I mean, it's the word of God. How can you not dance to it?
I actually recently got Marina and the Diamonds' new album, Fruit. Is anyone else listening to that? All right. You know what's up. Awesome album. It's probably quite a sad album, but it's also fantastic. So download it. Buy it on iTunes. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, what y'all listen to?
Oh, what I listen to. Like, at the moment, everything. It's just my favorite band. It's Seed. Yes, German band. And it's just that's what I love. And
I always have problems to know all the names of the songwriters and stuff. He's better in it. But what is very special in Europe, I guess, is the Eurovision Song Contest.
Yes. You guys know, I have to hijack this real quick. Eurovision is like Christmas to me and most of Australia, and this year we're performing because I think we're like the we're the guests, but the reason for that is because Australia is the most tuned in outside of Europe because we absolutely fucking love it. Like the other year when like Loreen was like, I was like, yes! Amazing.
And we tried to bring the Eurovision like fascination over to America. And
come to Australia. They don't need you.
I like it. I don't know if you do that, but we usually do like Eurovision parties, like
so do we.
Coming together with friends and watching it. And I like, those are people that are really not known for their music most of the time, like newcomers and stuff, and I like that music. And especially what I also like is film music, like soundtracks for movies. I play the piano and I love to play those soundtracks on the piano. And it is amazing when you have to do something just to listen to music from awesome movies like Die fabelhafte Welt der Amelie, The Fabuleux Destin d'Amélie Poulain, in English, I don't know, The Fabulous World of the Amelie, I don't know. Yeah, I really love music, and especially when you connect to something. So.
And speaking of Eurovision, do y'all know Conchita Wurst?
Yeah.
Yes! Yes, good, you better.
Hello, I'm Vanessa. At first, I want to say thank you for lighting up our lives with the things you do. It means so much to us, I think. And I think I can speak for everyone of us here. The first two questions are for Will and RJ. And I would like to know how you feel about being in the Something Like Summer movie. And why is RJ not the Spanish teacher?
Okay.
I'm not finished.
Oh,
sorry. And from the rest, especially Miles, Nick, Ken, and Jake, I would like to know, how do you imagine Germany would be, and are there things you would say are totally different from what you thought it would be?
Okay, now we can go. Yeah, so first of all, it was so crazy that like whenever we first started daily vlogging, I asked for some recommendations of LGBT books to read, and one of the recommendations was Something Like Summer, and the author reached out and he said, "Oh my God, I can't believe that you're reading my book. I love your channel." And I'm like, what? And actually, if I can make an announcement, like Michael, I think, who just got up, he has, the author sent him some copies that he was to be passed out at the meetup, yeah? 18. Right, so if you read the book though, the Spanish teacher is like this corn-fed white guy from Texas. So
Who went to South America.
right, so RJ doesn't fit that. I guess I'm corn-fed and I have to be like a straight Spanish teacher, so I'm like, hola.
But the joke is in my family that he speaks better Spanish than I do, just because his Spanish is a lot more consistent than mine. My Spanish is all over the place. And then also, I mean, they needed this, super rugged, masculine guy to play a police officer, so... But I have to play a police officer from Texas, so I've been having Skylar try to refine my Texan accent. That's assuming I have any actual spoken lines, or if I'm just gonna I get to be in a chase sequence too, and to be in the action sequence of the movie, and it's gonna be so much fun. I cannot wait.
Super exciting, but we're running out of time, so I want the guys to answer questions too. Kaey.
Okay.
It was best.
How do you imagine Germany?
Yeah. How do you imagine? Okay. Well, first off, I didn't think I was gonna make it here. When they mentioned the idea, I thought it was gonna be like, oh yeah, we're totally gonna do this, or we're thinking it up, and then I thought it was just gonna be dropped, and we're like, that's not gonna. I was like, well, I'm not gonna hold my breath.
But that is Sabina.
Yes, Sabina. So yeah, my impression, I really didn't know what to expect when I was coming here. I was like, I don't know, I've never been outside of the country before, I've never been to Europe, so I'm like, I'm just going into it with an open mind, and I'm just gonna try to experience as much as I possibly can. And so my mind was completely blank. I just got here, and I felt like I wasn't even here, because I was like, is this real? Am I really here right now? As soon as I stepped off the plane, it felt like we had just sat in a tube for 12 hours, and then we were it was really strange feeling. But being here is absolutely amazing. This country is absolutely gorgeous, and even though I don't know how the country feels about your graffiti, but I think it's beautiful. Yes, I like it a lot. And the food is delicious, as I said before, and the people are gorgeous, so I have no complaints.
I can say one thing that is different, but I don't even know how to explain it. The layout of the houses outside of the city is completely different from the layout of houses in the United States. There's a lot more yard, and I don't know if I saw a road or a sidewalk in between. Or they're more narrow. And also, I'm probably just dumb, but I totally thought you guys drove on the left side of the road.
That's me, sweetie.
I didn't really have any expectations, but I guess being in America for a while, you're fed this whole notion of German sounds very harsh and stuff like that. And when I got here, I'm like, German is fucking sexy, guys.
Yeah, I'm into it, right?
Yeah, it sounds amazing.
Oh, I think for me, I don't know. I drive a German car, so I was just like, yes, when I get here, I'm like, but I think Germany for me, it's been a real connection because I grew up in a German family, but we never really spoke about it. My Oma and Opa moved over to Australia to get away from the war and all those things. So I've been kind of transported straight back to my childhood where I would go eat all the strudel and stuff at my Oma's house. And like the meatloaves and all the cold cut meats and the gherkins and all those things. So I think being back here, I mean my first time I was here, it makes me feel like I'm back as a child. Even like when you see the Christmas things, okay, so that thing, the windmill thing that you put the candles underneath, we had one of those. It caught fire one year. We don't anymore. But like shit like that, I don't know, we're like looking in the windows and I'm just like, yes! So yeah, I'm just loving it because it takes me right back to my childhood and me growing up. But let me just tell you, it's a lot fucking colder here than it is in Australia. So yeah, you guys can have that one.
There's this kind of stereotype of Germans in the US that, they're humorless and severe and just always kind of matter of fact. And both times that I've been to Germany, of course, that's been so not true. And so it's just, you guys are incredibly warm and incredibly welcoming. And yeah, that was just something that I wouldn't necessarily say that I expected it when I came to Germany, but that was definitely something that the first time I was in the back of my mind as far as they're like, well, I'm sure you guys are familiar with it, but that's been, completely not the case.
Hello.
Hi.
My name's Layla. Hi, Layla. I'm from Columbus, Ohio, but I
Oh my God, welcome.
Yeah, but I didn't fly here. No, I live in Germany. My question was, I know Will in a couple of vlogs before you've mentioned a podcast, and I was wondering if you did find time to do it. Like, what type of thing did you have in mind?
So we were approached by a company to help us out, but they wanted to have like a really unique one. So we're kind of like on the fence whether we want to, because if we are supported by this company, they give us all the equipment for free. I'm like, oh, that's really nice, free equipment. So we can, but then we have to kind of make our podcast the way that they want it to. So we're kind of on the fence. The equipment is really expensive, but then I think that we can try to find a nice medium. We're still in the idea phase right now, and RJ has a lot of experience with this because he used to work at a radio station, so he would be able to cut it together and everything. But I still like the idea. I use Tyler obviously as a lot of inspiration because whenever he puts his mind to something, he kills it. So I think it's still a possibility, but I think I don't know, as long as I get my book taken care of, then the podcast will definitely come.
Yeah, no, one thing at a time. I think also, one prompt that they gave us too is that it can't just be you guys and your friends just talking about random things because everybody's doing that online, which is true, and I like that as a challenge, like definitely kind of forcing us to be more creative and to come up with more ideas and different structures and formats and that sort of thing. So right now it's just in the conceptual phase and kind of trying a few things on, seeing what fits, what works, what doesn't, and going from there.
I don't know. Will and RJ, you guys have such an incredible connection together. You have such a beautiful relationship. It's an absolute inspiration, I think, for everyone here. Thank you so much for sharing that with us.
Relationship goals 101.
Yes, exactly. And I just want to know, what's your secret? How do you guys are so beautiful together, that such an incredible connection. What's the secret?
Yeah, a lot of editing, I would just like to point out that they've been together about as long as we have.
Yeah, Nick and Ken have been together for like a few months shy of ours. So you guys we were in October and you were in December. Yeah. But if I had the same thing about our relationship, I think it's just really important that people realize whenever you get into a relationship with someone, that's two different people coming together to make something bigger than just two people coming together. And you have to understand that there are going to be differences, and that person isn't like you. No matter how many similarities you have, that is a completely different experience. That's a completely different walk of earth. That's wanting to join what you have experienced too. So it's so important to have communication, Communication is absolutely key, and being honest and forthcoming about your feelings. So if I had, people ask all the time, like, what kind of advice would you give to someone who's in a relationship, whatever. Honesty and communication. Like, if you can work on those two things, everything else will come naturally. So I find that a lot of my friends, they've gone into relationships, but they're not honest with themselves, and they're not honest with their partner. It is doomed to fail. Like, you have to be honest. If there's no honesty, it's not going to work. And communication, I'm just gonna let RJ talk.
I think something that even I've learned being in this for so long is, I mean, compatibility obviously is important, but it doesn't really matter how compatible you are, it's going to require work. I don't care who you are, I don't care how awesome you are, how awesome your partner is, it's gonna take work. It's gonna take more work than you probably think that it is. And it's just not only finding someone who you mesh well with, but it's also about finding someone who's willing to put in as much effort as you are, and someone who makes it worth all the effort. That is definitely something, people ask me all the time, like, how do I deal with Will and all of his issues? To which I respond, I've got my issues too, don't worry. I'm sure he'll tell you guys all about them.
RJ is a fucking saint. No. Because, I mean, you guys have probably just seen, like, from the 2 hours that we have been here, I tend to be, I'm not a controlling bitch, but I am. So, you want to find someone that builds you up and makes you a better person, and I found that. And I consider myself to be extremely lucky.
Anyways, it's about finding someone who makes it worth the while. Like, yes, sometimes being with Will is a lot of work. Sometimes he has to work really hard because I'm having issues too. Point is, you have enough of good with that person that makes it worth it. And because otherwise you're just not gonna survive. You're gonna end up resenting each other. So, do you guys have any relationship advice?
Love yourself. Being alone doesn't mean that you're not worth anything.
I mean, you may be alone, but you're not lonely. That's for sure. Any relationship advice? My boyfriend, everybody. Yeah, communication is definitely a big part of it. Don't sweat the small stuff, and try not to change. Try not to change the other person. I mean, you're with him because you love him for who he is, or her. Well, I'm talking to Nick right now. Sorry. Yeah, you're with the other person. You love them for who they are, and keep it fun, I guess. You're in a relationship, and you're supposed to be. It's a place with love. You're not curing cancer. It's supposed to be a fun thing, and you don't have to bear your issues alone. That's what the other person is there for. So, anyways.
If I could say like one more thing.
Only one. Huh?
Only one.
Yeah, only one. Sorry, to make it quick. Something that you said, Miles, is like so important. It's very, very important before you get yourself into a relationship that you love yourself. Like, you have to know who you are. So I've been in a relationship before, RJ, but that relationship was really eye-opening because I learned so much about myself that I didn't really know. And that I am so thankful for that relationship, and I don't regret I don't have regrets. But I learned so much about myself, and whenever you give yourself to a person, you want to know what it is that you're giving. And that's why 2014 was kind of a hard year, because I had all these issues come up and I felt so bad because RJ had to deal with all these issues that I had no idea that I was even going through. But try to understand and know yourself as much as you can before you give yourself to another person, because you want yourself to be a gift for that person, and they're giving you a gift that is them. So the more you love yourself, the more that you know about yourself, the more that you care about yourself, I feel the better the puzzle pieces will come together in harmony. Yeah. let's give a round of applause to Sabina, Dennis, and Anya. Okay? This could not have happened without them, so magic took place today.
Yes.
Yeah.